Tom Stoppard's stirring play Travesties is back on Broadway, starring Tom Hollander as Henry Carr, an elderly man who reminisces about Zurich during World War I. The wry comedy follows his interactions with several of history's power players, including Tristan Tzara, James Joyce and Vladimir Lenin. Though it references a number of historical figures and events, audiences are actually in for a night of gut-busting comedy. We recently chatted with director Patrick Marber and the cast to get the scoop on the production.
What happens in this show is that this guy, Henry Carr, played by Tom Hollander, remembers his glorious youth in Zurich in 1917 during World War I. And because he's very old, he misremembers some of his glorious youth.
It's a silly nonsense show full of very clever ideas and very silly ideas. And it's a kind of vaudeville act, a parlour game set in a parlour of literary and political ideas flying around.
I think the reason it's not as highbrow as people might be scared into thinking it is because it's so incredibly silly and fun and sexy and exciting.
I think the particular insanity of this play is that, yes, you are going to hear me talk about the Russian Revolution, but I'm going to be doing it whilst doing something called the sexy book dance.
Travesties is a serious comedy, or you could say it's an intellectual farce, and it deals with both high and low comedy. You know, it's not averse to a crude joke, and it's not averse to a highfalutin intellectual joke.
Travesties bowed on Broadway in 1975. The cast shared what makes a Stoppard play relevant now.
Well, the play is so timely. I think it's a blessing to be able to have comedy and this whirligig of a play to be entertained at the same time you're having to process troubling issues.
At a time when maybe some people are trying to provide easy answers and reverting back to certain dogmatisms and nationalisms, Travesties is an entertaining reminder that really life is about so much more than that narrow point of view.
Hollander starred in an acclaimed London run of Travesties. Director Marber and the cast told us why they're excited for Broadway audiences to see the production.
Well, I've always found Broadway audiences to be very up for it and warm and engaged, and I think they're going to be shocked at how funny it is and how romantic it is and how sexy it is, and they're going to find in Stoppard something that they might not have felt before.
I just think that there's so much joy in our room, in the rehearsal room so far, that I think that joy will be undeniable as we move onto the stage, and hopefully people that are coming to see it.
And this production, Patrick Marber's production of this play is really works, and so want as many people to see it as possible.